So I planned on making this video yesterday. I also announced I would make it on yesterday. And as much as I hate not delivering and promising things I don't end up doing, in this case, I'm very happy this happened because yesterday was Eli's first day at school. And what I wanted to say yesterday was completely different than the message that I'm coming to you with today after going through it myself. Not for the first time, but he's already 3.5, so he's much more of a communicating human being than he was previously. So this can relate to both 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, and really everyone. I think you'll understand what I'm talking about in exactly 1 second. So kids struggle at school nowadays. We all know that. There are more and more kids who are struggling with reading and writing, more and more kids that are struggling with math, more and more kids who refuse to do their homework. And it seems that we as a society, we don't find strategies to help us cope with what's happening. So I want to present you with a completely different notion. And before I do that, let's talk about human beings, how we are born. When we are born into this world, teeny, tiny babies, we are completely helpless. There is absolutely nothing that we can do to aid our survival. And so we cry. Now we adults, we call it crying. What is a baby doing? Baby is crying. But what the baby is really doing is communicating. The baby is using the only communication tool that he has to tell us that something is wrong, that he needs us, that he needs our help, that he needs us to be there and solve a problem for him, or just be heard, or just be seen, do something for him. He is telling us with everything that he has that he is currently uncomfortable and that he needs us. Now, from a moment a baby is born and until a child is about 3.5, well, probably 3.5, 4 years, there are many things that we are doing to actually stop the child from communicating with us and telling us what he needs. The first thing is not meeting child's cry when he is a baby. Later on, it's shh, shh, shh. We all know that a good baby is a baby that doesn't cry. Later on is that don't worry, you're okay, or don't cry, there's absolutely nothing to worry about. It seems that we really want to help. We want to better their current experience. But instead of bettering their current experience, what we are really telling them is that we are not available to listen to them, is that we are currently not about to do or help or do, well, whatever they need from us. What we really want is for them to stop crying. Now, I know it sounds a bit harsh, but let me tell you something you'd be able to connect to. When we ask children, how was your day at school today? And let's be really honest with ourselves for a second. This question doesn't come without expectations. We expect the child to say it was okay, that he had fun, that he met friends, that he played. Now, children, from their inner need to connect, knowing that without our connection they won't survive, children are intrinsically interested in meeting our expectations of them. And so if something didn't go very well or something didn't feel quite right, they most often would still say, it was fine, mommy. And they would go to their rooms, because this answer and this dialogue and this entire communication has absolutely nothing to do with their inner experience. And actually, I suffered it yesterday. Now let me tell you what happened. Eli is 3.5, and the first day in preschool was hell. We spent an hour there together. Everything was great. We had fun. We played with the new games. Everything was wonderful. And then the parents were supposed to leave for 1 hour. And Eli was absolutely fine. He told me, Mommy, you can leave now. I'm waiting for you. Come back and pick me up. In 1 hour, no biggie. And I left. And as soon as more and more parents started leaving the classroom, more and more kids started crying and screaming and knocking on the doors. And Mommy, come back. Daddy, come back. Whoever was there with them, they were all screaming. And it doesn't matter how strong or how resilient or how independent a child is, once he's in that sort of an atmosphere, he will be part of that atmosphere. Because if we're not afraid like everybody else, what does it mean about us? If we're not reacting like everybody else, what does it mean about us? So it's much easier for us to connect to the feeling of the group than it is to connect to our own feelings, especially when we're only 3.5. So Eli cried for a very, very long time. Well, an hour until we came back. Everybody did. Now I'm okay, not okay, let's not even get into that. But the most important thing is that as soon as I went back in, he hugged me and said, "Mommy, I waited for you," and he was already fine, not crying anymore. And he left, we left the school together, and I told him, "Eli, how was your first day at preschool?" And he looks at me and he says, "Mom, I had fun." He didn't say that for no reason. He said it because he had the experience of Mommy leaving him. And he knows exactly that Mommy wants him to have fun. Mommy needs him to have fun because it means then that Mommy is okay. And so he said, "Mommy, I had fun." To not lose this connection that him and I have. And this is the most important thing I want to talk to you about in regards of school and in regards of keeping open communication lines and for children to know that they are really, really listened. Don't ask them, "How was it?" Children can't connect to the what. They can connect to the how. They can connect to something they can visually understand. So if you know your kid is afraid of something, whatever it is, don't tell him, "Are you afraid?" Tell him, "Are you afraid that you won't know where the toilet is? Are you afraid that you won't like your new friends? Are you afraid that you won't be able to, I don't know, to eat whenever you want, to say whatever you want? Are you afraid you're not going to like your teacher?" If we're talking about later ages, again, don't ask them, "How was school?" Tell them, "That thing you were stressed about, how did that go today? Are you still stressed? How are you still feeling about it? Like, what's going on there?" Because when kids know that we expect to hear something, and they know that not in knowledge, they know that in experience, in their hearts and minds and in their little bodies, they know what we expect and they want to give it to us. And knowing that can really change the way we ask our questions, the way we communicate with them, because we can come to these dialogues clean. We can come to these dialogues open. We can come telling them that we are here to hear everything that they want to say. And if we want our kids to read and to write and to do math, these are really, really complex tasks. But first, to approach these tasks with success and exploration and the way that kids approach everything they're interested in life, they need to be able to approach their own souls in the exact same way. As a child who is not familiar with the power of words and how words can change his life and how words can touch him would probably not want to read. And the same thing about maths and any other school subject. Learning comes from within. And the first thing that we all need to learn is ourselves. And if we can't learn and experience our learning of self as a wonderful experience, it would make it really, really hard on us to learn. Whenever I work with children who can't really read or are afraid of reading or reading out loud or writing, it's because there is something in their souls that is not sitting well. And we need to find that thing and solve that thing first before we go to reading and writing, because that is always the next step. But if your kids are still young, if they're like Eli, 3 and something, maybe 4, we can prevent that from happening. We can teach children how to approach their souls, how to learn who they are, how to bring who they are into this world knowingly and trusting that we will be there for them, that their experience matters. By doing this, we will promise their success in this world. We will. So the biggest tip I would like you to take from this little video is don't ask yes or no questions or good, bad questions, but provide your kids with an opportunity for a discussion, an opportunity for a dialogue where they can show you and tell you who they really are. And don't expect anything. Don't wake up in the morning and say, today is going to be a great day, or today is going to be hell, because we have no idea. We never know. Wake up in the morning and tell yourself, I have no idea what's going to happen today. And you know what? That's just fine. Because when I don't know, I'm open to whatever might happen. So clear all your expectations. Your kids' internal instinct is to connect to you, to trust you, to be open-hearted with you, to tell you everything on their hearts. They know in their experience that they need that to survive and thrive in this world. So let's give them the ability to do just that. Now, it was really, really short. I'm going very, very deep into this in my masterclass. You can still sign up if you would like to. I'll put the link in the comments. And otherwise, if you have anything you'd like to ask, comment below and I'll answer right away. Have a beautiful day and good luck to everybody.